Let me see if this works. Perfect. I gotta upload the other one. New exciting changes coming to the channel, boys and girls. Like a couple sound effects. That's about it. This is original. I had a good friend, not a good friend, a good subscriber, reader, whatever, viewer. I asked if someone could put together like a little intro for Boomer Reviews. If anyone out there wants to put together a real quick, video for originals, Cappy originals, I'd appreciate it. But I was binging on the Velma reviews because once again, the main purpose of Hollywood, its true economic production, its true purpose in existence now is not to entertain the American and global public. It is to create a train wreck by which the real entertainment and production occurs, where Critical Draker, It's a Gundam, Nerdrotic, and a whole bunch of other people I discovered go and take apart these abortions, these laughable jokes of attempts at entertainment. And there was one thing I noticed in the reviews of Velma. Like, what's Velma? Velma is the latest Scooby-Doo reincarnation, and it's done by Mindy Kaling, Melinda, the gal from The Office. And I'm looking at Velma. I'm like, why is Velma brown? And it's because it's Mindy Kaling. And if you look at the Mindy, whatever. If you look at the sound credits, the voice actors, oh my gosh, did you know the director is the narrator, the voice for the main character? And so this highlighted an important lesson that I think, my team, the ones that actually care about having a good life. Because look up her, the Kaling gal. She's not having a good life. No. Because she's falling prey to something that is middle schoolish. And the other person I put up there, character and the creator, that's from I'm Not Starfire. Many thanks to It's a Gundam for reviewing that. I'm like, what is he talking about? So I had to look it up. And just okay, it's this woke, ugly piece of trash cartoon character, comic book, whatever. And then, well, who did it? A Japanese American woman did it. And wow, it's her. It's her. And I don't know if it is one of the 7 deadly sins, but hubris and arrogance, we really got to talk about it, because one of the most important lessons you can learn in life to make sure you're maybe not super successful, but you don't waste your time and you're more successful than you would have been otherwise, is to understand that nobody likes you. Some people hate you. Not everybody hates you. Some people do. But most people don't like you. A lot of it's because they haven't gotten to know you. But a lot of it is most people care most about themselves, as evidenced by these 2 abortions of creations, where it's a vanity project. Like writing an autobiography. I'm like, you'll never see me write an autobiography unless someone comes out with a biography, and I would call it a counter or factual biography, but only in response. Because as I've said before, and you should get to this mindset, the most boring person in the world should be you, because you have been with yourself the entire time and are the foremost expert on it. It's kind of like when, I don't know, take Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff goes on and does his Peter Schiff thing. And you meet Peter Schiff. Hey, Pete, let's talk about economics and precious wealth. Maybe he doesn't want to. LeBron James, all these. Oh, I feel so bad for these athletes. They bust their asses off working out, dieting, discipline. Then they go give their all on the court or the field or the rink or wherever it is. And then not only are they interrogated by some bimbo with a microphone, then outside of that, I have a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge of this. Then they got to do all this nonprofit marketing, help out with the kids, speech crap. Well, what do they talk about? Themselves and basketball or baseball or hockey. And to be perfectly honest, oh, what's it? Oh, podcast. And I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. But, sometimes I want to talk about something else that isn't me or my life, that isn't your career. And that's a healthy sign. Like, yeah, there's this, but like, for example, Henry Cavill. Oh my God, what's it like being Henry Cavill? Dude just wants to be a geek. He paints miniatures. He plays board games. He probably, as a human being, would much rather talk about board games or video games and other geekery than what's it like? What's it like being you? It's the same thing it's been for 40 odd freaking years. I wake up, I look in a mirror, it's me again. I go about my day. And it's important to have that knowledge, that lesson, or that philosophy, because you're you, dude. You should be completely bored with yourself. You should be fascinated with other people. You should be fascinated with things outside of your realm. It's like when I go on, next couple books I got, they're not about me. Maybe philosophies I've had, maybe thoughts, but I would never be so vain. Like I have an idea for a comic book. You guys know this. It's not going to be me. Oh yeah, it's going to be influenced. The guy's riding a motorcycle. I'm going to use my knowledge of all my adventures in the United States to paint the landscape in the background, the stage by what they have. But it's going to be a slightly older guy than me, who's a black dude. Why? Ooh, diversity. No, the picture came to my mind. It's a black dude, loosely visualized off of a friend of mine who happens to be black and some kind of portly. Now I got a couple of guys. Wait, is it me? No, it's not you. Yeah, it might be you. So from your own personal perspective, you don't worry, you got plenty of time with yourself. You're going to have plenty of time with yourself. And if you don't play your cards right and start asking people about themselves or other people or other things in the outside world aside from your own self, guarantee you're going to be dying by yourself because nobody likes you. People like, and this is where you have to be smarter than the average bear or be smarter than the average human. My old man and Dale Carnegie talked about how when friends influence people. You know what people like to talk about? Themselves, usually because they have nothing else going on. They have nothing outside of themselves. And usually these are horribly boring people. This is where I think it is even in the book where Dale Carnegie talked to a guy who was a botanist. And he knew about all this flora and all these things and this stuff. And Dale Carnegie was absolutely fascinated about it because it wasn't Dale freaking Carnegie. You come hang out with me. Guys, I don't want to talk about politics or economics or, I'd rather hear about you, like a genuine, like, what do you do? But if you're like most normal people, not a botanist, it's pretty freaking boring. And that's where Hollywood, content creators, people in general, like, you better be really interesting to talk about yourself. You better be really interesting to talk about yourself. Because if you're not, what do you got? You got It's a Starfire and Velma, where you have two vain, truly worthless people in the real world in cartoon form. Really, tell me what is so fascinating about Mindy the gal. Tell me about the other gal who did Starfire, or I am not Starfire. What, can I not just peg them? Not in that way. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, can I not identify him? Could I not describe? You came from a privileged family. You didn't really have to work. You didn't have a work ethic, so you went into Hollywood. And it's like my clarity test on the politicians. Did you work for a living? Do you have a real degree? Do you have real work? What are you doing now? And did you come from wealth? It's not to say that if you came from wealth, you're not an interesting person, but generally you're not because you never had to be. And so when you get these truly uninteresting, boring people who lack the selflessness or the intelligence or even the philosophy to say, well, maybe I should look outside me and what this world is like. What do you like? What do you do? Search for interesting people, have interesting conversations, talk about interesting things. When you have people who are a blank slate and are just me, where maybe if there's any thought or philosophy, it's been purposely installed on them by no conscious thought on their own, which you could see in just the boring, tiring, worn out tread tropes of what was in Velma in the It's a Starfire. Oh my God, white men, am I right? Look, we's all diversities, y'all. And now we're lesbians too. I mean, really, tell me you don't have an ounce of creativity or interesting thing in that brain of yours without telling me that. You're just the fact you got to reboot, you got to take something that was written already, that is already, and just reboot it. I mean, right there, that should be your number one thing. Is it a remake? Is it a reboot? Is it not original? Okay, I don't want to watch it. And it shows. It shows in the product. I guarantee you, the conversation you would have with those two directors or creators or whatever would be as interesting as the products they make. Predictable, scripted, truly NPC and robotic. Truly. But even more, even without the program, because of self-interest, you're going to want to talk about yourself. And frankly, unless you've done something really fascinating, nobody cares to hear about you, especially if you're inexperienced and you're not unique and you truly haven't struck out on your own and gone through. God, I hate to give him a compliment. I really hate to give him a compliment. You know why Atham is an interesting fellow? It's because he's gone through hell. That's why he's an interesting fellow. You know what Atham doesn't talk about? Himself. His viewpoints and his experience is the lens by which he interprets things. And you say, did you see this observation? Did you catch that? Yeah, I did. Do you think it's connected to the other thing that yeah, I think it is. No one really talks about Atham. Why would you talk about him? My God. Oh, nope. Everybody loves Raymond. Nobody loves Atham. But it's the journey, the seasoning, the galvanization, the process. And even then, don't talk about yourself. Talk about other people. And then they'll think you're great. And and the worst case scenario is you get a normie, conforming, inferior, thinking you're the greatest person of all time when you didn't say a damn thing about yourself. All you did was talk about them. That's one of the main things to drag out of How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you're lucky, you'll find that botanist. If you're lucky, you'll find a tornado chasing kid. Tell me about, okay, now take a wild guess what me and the tornado chasing kid talk about. Here's this 21-year-old kid. He said, I'm out of school. I'm not doing this. Told his family that, well, he didn't really tell him to F off. Like, no, I'm leaving, going out on my own, not going to college. Like, here's an aberrant data point. Here's a statistical anomaly. He's interesting. Speaking of which, he looks exactly like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo when you think about it. And he does van life and chases tornadoes. That 21-year-old kid is more interesting than most of the adults that run into. I guess he's technically an adult, but you know what I'm saying. And so when you talk to the NPCs and you don't talk about yourself, but you ask them about them, they're going to talk up because nobody cares about you. You could be the most interesting person in the room and you could know it, but don't you dare talk about it. And as a game, you should just talk to other people like, oh, what do you do? Oh, you were majoring in sociology? Really? That's fascinating. Just like everyone else. And that person could go and tell you that they could prove it. I got student loan debt. I'm really for not Trump, for whoever is against the Republicans. And I'm helping out the environment. I mean, literally, I don't have anything boring. That piece of paper over there on the table is more interesting than the average person. And you just like, oh, and where do you go to school? Bah, 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 bah. And they'll think you're the greatest person ever. You didn't say a damn. You could be a Republican. But at least you got people on your side, I guess. It helps in careers and social situations. But much better than that, you find a truly independent-minded human being. You find someone who's really interesting. And even then, maybe you talk about each other if you have truly and then you bond. And you're like, oh, you did that? Oh, dang. That's crazy, man. Oh, that's character. That's impressive what that guy or gal did. But usually those people don't really want to talk about their career or their past of business because there's more interesting things. And then you talk about, again, Atham, he's a spelunker. How many of you know spelunker? You get the dude visually you could visually see his excitement when there's a cave. Like when a dog hears a treat box being shuffled, if Atham sees a hole in a cliff, they're interesting people. And so you can have interesting conversations about other things in life that is not yourselves. And once you realize that nobody likes you and your job is to go and find out the people who would be intellectually interesting, that you would actually like them, and hopefully your kindred spirits that they in return would like you, not because of you yourself, but what you've gone through, and therefore what kind of an outlook or view or philosophy you have in life, and what ultimate life goals you're working towards. For example, I mean, a really good way to delineate, be libertarians. There's two types of libertarians: people who just are libertarians because they believe in a very important philosophy like freedom and leave me the F alone, which then you'd have, or the ones who glom on because they have nothing else going on. And the old joke, how can you tell who the libertarian in the room is? Don't worry, he'll tell you. Largely a he thing, being fair to you ladies about that. That's the difference between an NPC who just takes whatever operating system they're given and tells you about them. Look at me. Have you heard about the evils of central banking? No, but something tells me you're going to tell me. Or you're just having a conversation. You make a philosophical, I don't know, you're at a wedding. You're sitting at the table with the people you don't know. And in between, was it droll? Is that the word? Boring, mundane conversation? So we got a special over at Nordstrom's. No, yes. And you look at the guy like, motorcycle pin you got? Oh, you're a motorcycle right now. Where'd you ride? Oh, here and there. Oh, adventure. Find out. Then he's a libertarian through his actions, not necessarily his words. Oh yeah, I went to Freedom Fest. Wait, you went to Freedom Fest? Really? Very interesting. They're going to respond to you. You're going to respond to them. And you're going to have something, generally speaking, most of these leftist NPC morons will never have. And that is loving human relationships. And that could be romantic love, camaraderie love, brotherly love, sisterly love. You can have genuine friends and human relationships. But if you're such a narcissist that you can't shut up about yourself, which I understand if you're younger, like you don't have anything else to talk about. You're trying to impress everybody, get a date, I don't know what. But if the younger you figure this out, that nobody gives a damn about you, and you better start talking about other people, but keep a keen eye out for the people who don't answer in monotonous, regurgitated program to answer type of ways. I am for the environment. Like, if you could ever say, take the opposite side of that argument, oh, I'm against the environment. I'm for the children. Oh, I'm against the children. Then you know you're not dealing with a particularly interesting or intelligent person. They may not even have sentience. I'm going to start calling them human plants because that's all they are. That's not someone you're going to want to hang out with. You're not going to want to read their autobiography. Wait, was it a 30-year-old? Was it Elliot Page? There's a guy. Hang on, I think it's Elliot Page. Elliot Page, memoir. I looked him up. Yep. He's 30. Barack Obama did the same thing and wrote about himself at 30. You wonder why the inflation is here. I'm not going to bore you guys with details. Yeah, it was Trump too. I will grant you that. But if you want to look up the money supply, you can find out where all the extra money came from. We just need to print off more money for the folks. Oh my God, I liked them because I was told to. These are horrifically boring people, and they will not really produce anything great or impressive in life. And you got a choice because you're going to die. Do you want to worship yourself instead? Oh my God, women's studies majors. Look, I'm not saying there ain't the occasional interesting philosophical thing in there, but to get a degree in studying your gender, how bored is there? Nothing else in life that's interesting to you? But if you don't get hip to the jive real quick that most people don't give a damn about you because they're looking at their own navel the entire time, you're not going to succeed that well. And you're certainly not going to find good people. And once if you don't figure out, I got to become some more than myself, this true narcissist that not only looks at itself in the mirror the entire time, but that expects people to worship me. If you never get past that stage, pretty much every teenager, I guess, you almost have to be, so you know thyself. But if you don't realize there are other people, and you better be an interesting person doing interesting things outside of your own being that isn't scripted. Oh my God, ladies, how do I find the guys? How about just not be a leftist? How about be in shape? Ooh, be a rebel. Be in shape with long hair and wear a dress. Whoa. I'm not saying you gotta be a card-carrying Republican, but can you not just say the same repetitive drivel? I'm a feminist and I like Democrats. I'm for we gotta fight the system. I mean, there's rocks that I hike past in the desert that I'm literally more interested. At least they're pretty. They got a banding. There's a lot of rain out here. We got to see some water flowing in the desert. That was actually quite pretty. I mean, give you another example. Not talking about myself. Would you guys like to hear what A or B? We gave you take a poll right now. 1, if you want to hear my story. 0, if you want to hear the average of the story. I'm going to tell you what the average of the story. Would you guys like to hear about my hike in the desert, where because of the ample rain we had and the snow in the mountains, there's some streams now that are starting to form or have formed, which is a rare occurrence. Would you like to hear that story? Or would you like to hear just, I don't know, your standard college student female talk about her resume, which is just mass produced and utterly predictable? Which would you rather hear? 1, if you want to hear, not about me, about my hike in the desert where I saw water in the desert, rare thing. Or would you like to hear about Tina from Winnetka, majoring in journalism, and I'm going to save the world, and I'm here to help the whales? Geez, yeah, it's really hard paying back my student loan. Well, how many times you got to watch that movie? I mean, it's as repetitive as Fast and the Furious, but at least I don't know. I got a truck in this one. I don't know. I got Jason Statham, and all right, I'll watch it again. What kind of human do you want to be? I mean, it really is. Do you want to be alive, or do you want to be dead? Do you want consciousness, sentience, an enjoyable life, relationships with other people? Or do you want to just do what you're told to do, program the way you want to be, have no thoughts or opinions, and just, wow, another woke show? And this is what gets me going back to Hollywood. You're supposed to be the creative types. Nothing against Tom Cruise. I think Maverick was the best-selling movie of 2022. Now, Maverick was very well done. It was a very good movie. It was not the best movie ever. It wasn't no Midnight Run. It wasn't Casablanca. It was a solid, entertaining movie. And you know who's going to run away with the box office in 2023? Although maybe Avatar 2, the repeat, the same thing it was before. They might get it, but Tom Cruise is going to run away with the Mission Impossible. And you could say, well, isn't he the star of the show? Yes, he is. He has been since 1997, 1996. But you know what the Mission Impossible movies are? Good popcorn chewing fun. There's not good. It's going to be like Maverick. There was no woke BS. You could argue a little. Hey, we got to go fight these guys. Oh my God, look, an F-14 that's still in operating condition. Even the winks and the nudges to the, I see what they had. Penny Benjamin. He gets back with Penny Benjamin. Who knew? And I bet you Mission Impossible is just going to be a straight up fun show. Straight up fun show. With no politics and nothing else. And again, no slam on Tom Cruise. He's not going to have to be super creative to beat the creative teams of Hollywood today. You just have not to be woke, lecturing, Marxist filth as condemning and burning to hell accusations as the religious right was in the 1980s religious right era, which you guys are the modern day equivalent. You just have to not be a dick. And look at Tom Cruise as an individual. Not coincidental. He was brought up poor. I think his dad abandoned him. He was going to go into the clergy of all things. And then I think he got into theater as a side gig, and then the rest is history. But I mean, look at the man. He works his ass off producing these things, and they're not self-aggrandizing projects. Do you guys know who Les Grossman is? Bet you don't know who Les Grossman is. What didn't Mindy Kaling, or is it Mandy? Whatever. She called it the Mindy the Mindy Project. You ain't ever going to see me come on the Aaron Clarey Project. Look at me, look at my penis all the time. Oh my God, let me tell you about the wrinkles in the nutsack. I name the wrinkles like they name canyons in the Rocky Mountains. This here is Sweaty Canyon. This one is Pube Valley. Ha ha ha. Myself. I got way more important things to do. And so if you could get to that understanding, that reality, nobody likes you. All right. And it is wasted effort to try to sell people on the value of you, especially when you're not an accomplished or interesting person. And the quickest way to have progress and success and enjoyment and happiness and benefit out of life is to ask people about themselves. It is almost kind of living vicariously through others, but not because your life is so boring, but because you are bored with your otherwise interesting life. Like, and you go to whatever, you go to the pool hall, you go up to the bar, there's a cute girl. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a marketing intern. Next. Just next. What do you do? I'm a rockabilly vocalist for one of the most popular Louisiana Southern kind of Creole rockabilly bands. I know who this person is. I know her personally. She is a very, very interesting woman. I'm curious if anyone can guess who that is. Very interesting. And we could talk about her music and her band, but we just talk about what's going on. Hey, was it? Yeah. Would you tour? Oh, I think settling down. Very interesting woman. Very hardworking woman. I don't think she's ever done a project about herself, though. I don't think she ever wrote a song about herself. Oh, there's that Aaron Clarey guy, He's super fly. He's Aaron Clarey guy. Yeah, he's not going to make a top 10 hit. And man, what a prick would I be? Like, hey, I came up with this song about how great I am. Here's my book. I'm amazing in me. The Journey of My Father. What was the one that Barack Obama wrote? The My Dad Who Ran Away. My white rich grandmother who raised me, but I'll raise that bitch's taxes nonetheless. So nobody likes you. Go out, ask people about themselves. Pretty much don't talk about yourself unless you're asked. Get a question. How do I talk to people? Don't talk about yourself. Ask people about them. And then keep a keen eye out for the non-NPCs, the people giving different answers, even answers you disagree with. And then you could focus on why you think that, not in a hostile way. Why do you think that? Why this and that? Well, who knows? You might change your mind. We don't want to have intellectual conversation now, do we? Or you could be like Melindy King, or the other gal, or any one of the many people and just, worship yourself and force yourself on other people when you're a truly talentless, boring, uninteresting person. And then you get what that is, like horrible reviews. Just so sad. It's almost like they're a container. They'll take whatever form is poured into them. You should pick on the white males and, diversity and race swap. And like, really? Okay, it's been done. Oh, a lesbian kiss. Like they weren't doing that back in the 90s at nightclubs. Like you guys remember the faux lesbian kissing stuff? Remember that? Girls would do it to get your attention. Ooh, I wasn't talented. Wasn't any thought going on there. It was a gimmick. It was shtick. That was it. Even shtick has a little bit of cleverness to it. Let's go to the super chats. Oh, I didn't think about this. I was going to lay back here, be all relaxed and chill with the. I'm going to move this up. Let's move this up. There we go. Right. Lean in. If you guys 308 slow Sunday. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. I'm close to 100,000, and then I won't ask for 100,000 anymore. I get my plastic trinket. Guarantee you, it won't be. I got my plastic. I just want to say thank you. I'm on the Academy Awards. We gotta save the Africans. I have pus coming out of my vagina. I want to raise awareness about pus. Do you know 9 out of 10 women have pus coming out of their vagina? That's why I started this nonprofit called Pus Out of My Vagina, where 0.00002% of the proceeds go to women who might actually have a genuine problem, and the rest go to me to have champagne cocktail hour and parties. I'll just say, hey, check it out, guys. Look at that. Hey, all right. Hey, Dad, look at this. It's just to see my dad's reaction. What's that? It's a plastic trinket. I got 100,000. Oh, yeah. That was it. All right. Let's go to the comments. See what we got going on here. It is sad that totally legit, the number of views and the amount of GDP advertising dollars, because that's largely what YouTube's runs off of, is higher than the GDP or sales created by Velma. And I think She-Hulk is another one where the reaction has more economic production and where like the hatred of it. It's sad, man. They don't realize the see, at least the circus freaks knew they were freaks, and it was bad situation to be in, but they made their money. They knew that they were free. These people think they're serious. They think they're good. All right. Man, it is. I like the fact you guys donated to the collection plate here on Sunday and not church like you should have. Maybe because you learned something here unlike church, huh? Dave, $2. How much Pointy Sports Ball did you watch today? Oh my God. You could talk to the super hiker. I can't mention his name. We went to the Cigar Lounge. 4 Dubro douchebags just talking real loud, I think, because they went to the same college. And it was the Vikings and whoever they were playing against game. Oh my God. People were walking out of the Cigar Lounge. I did have my gun. I was like, oh, there's 4 of them. I got 10 bullets. You think you make quick work of this? So I did not watch the sports ball, but I heard the sports ball acolytes. Burb Sheed, $5 Australian. In the words of Orange Man, everything woke turns to a steaming pile of chocolate ice cream. It doesn't even turn. It is. It just is. I won't lie. I absolutely enjoy watching. Like, that is one of my main forms of entertainment. Like, of course, I've been binging on It's a Gundam and Critical Drinker, so I know that. But it's like, yeah, this is fun. Like, it's more entertaining to tune into one of their podcasts or shows than it is to go watch the darn thing. Well, you never watch it. I don't have to. What was it? Rings of Power? How long was that? I'm not going to invest that type of money or time. Dung is fun. Hey, Rolo, how's it going? Oh, it's you, Cap. Why, do I look like Rolo? Do I? I don't have the long hair. Hand clogs, $5. It's okay, Cappy. Your team likes you and will give you monies. Laugh out. Love will provide Cappy. You know what's sad? It's kind of like when I was in banking. I knew waitresses and baristas that made more money than these real estate developers because they made money and the real estate developers were losing it. I'm more financially successful than most of these Hollywood movies because I made a nickel more than I spent today. I mean, it's that bad. It's that bad. I'm gonna be very curious to see what the higher interest rates are gonna have in terms of, like, what projects they're gonna greenlight now that money isn't essentially free. And will give you monies. Love will provide, Cappy. Hubris is pride, Cappy. Spot on. God, the hubristic, is that it? Arrogant people. They're the most bored, lonely people on the face of the planet. Wiz Division Production, 10 generous dollars. Nothing makes my cucumber more rigid than watching arrogant, narcissistic people who celebrate prematurely get the rug pulled out from under them. Watching reality force feed them, and L is euphoric. Normally, the left and the media, the shills, would run to defend. There's two very clear camps, like okay, the Lord of the Rings of Power thing. There's very two distinct camps. People are defending it. Velma is so bad, there's no one defending it. It just, and it's so blatantly, I'll call it what it is, racist and sexist. Oh, Fred's just a moron, huh? Okay, well, you're the one that lost a company, Lord knows how many millions of dollars. Like, doesn't it get tiring? But there's no denying this. None whatsoever. This is horrible. I don't know if she's trying to do an Andy Kaufman, like where you're insulting people to get a rise out of them. Like that's your thing. You're being purposely disgusting or stupid. But there's no denying, like, you're going to have to admit this was crap. You're not talented. I don't know. Could you have just been a stay-at-home wife and raise some kids? Wouldn't that have been better? Super hyper son. No, just keep making crap. Why should reality force feed him? And L is euphoric. Michael Hunsinger, $5. Who is the lady that does the intro to your consulting video? Does she get royalties? No, I don't know who it is. My buddy Paul put it together. I'm sure he just grabbed one of his female friends. She's good. I don't know her name. Never met her. But Paul put it together. No, unfortunately, she does not get royalties for her. Nonstop Dre, $5. Autobiography title: The Dog Beating Influencer 2 ahead. Heaven Christ, Dre. Don't you have a degree you're studying for? Why are you wasting all your mental energies on coming up with this? The Dog Beating Influencer 2 ahead of his time. The Aaron Clarey story, inspired by Michael Vick and the Carlson School of Management. Generation of Powell, $5. A narcissist definition of abuse: not getting what they want or not being the center of attention. Yeah. Well, see, and here's another thing. It'd be a very interesting question, a very serious question. Does either of these ladies who created these horrifically bad shows, or the women who wrote She-Hulk, are you aware there are other people? Like, it's just, I think they call it solipsism, where you think you're the only sentient entity and everyone else is an asset or a very realistic video game or an NPC. A lot of people have that. They think they're the only one. I understand you should put your primary focus on you, because if you die, you're not going to be around that they even have the debate as to whether or not they're NPCs of human beings. But do you realize there are other people that have to consume this crap? Well, no one does have to consume this crap. They really don't. And what's sad is how many people are just consuming this crap to go and rip on it. You people are the circus freaks who, and it's not your products that are the Frankenstein abomination. Although there's certainly that, it's horrible. I think the realizing on the cake is that you actually think you're the Buzz Lightyear. You actually think you're talented. You actually think that this product you made was good. Hey, everybody, it's the real Buzz Lightyear. You're mocking me. Oh, no, Buzz, an alien. Where? Remember when Disney made nice movies like that? We all had a good time? No, of course not. Buzz Lightyear wasn't being accused of sexual harassment or whatever. Yeah, you're right. Is Hollywood aware there's other people? You got to push an agenda because you're the only people that exist. Tom Cruise is going to walk away. Top Gun Maverick. If you guys saw it, Tom Cruise has a short little video. Now it perturbed me because it's like, this is just longer to get to the show. But he thanked the audience for showing up. Could you girls imagine that? Could you imagine that? Thank you for this. I appreciate it. It was just a nice little thing. I was still perturbed. Wow. Well, think about that, huh? Sam Sailor, $5 super sticker has nothing. Thanks, Sam. I can't see the super sticker. That's the problem when I use StreamYard. I can't. So, for those of you, Brian Zylol, new guy, 20. Brian, yeah, I don't know what the super sticker is. Thank you very much, though. I do not know if I think people can see it except me. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can see what it is. Yeah, but just so you know, don't drop more than $2 on a super sticker because I won't see it. But the $20 will go to something very important, like I don't know. I paid all my. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't have a lot of fancy spending here. What am I gonna buy? It really is gonna be something like gas. I bought these glasses. That's what I bought because I needed them. Couldn't see without them. I could see. Is this? I don't know. I'll go buy something. Thank you very much. All right, so here comes the votes on that poll. 111111111. Let's answer Sam Whiskey. $5. Cappy, what percentage of the population exhibit conflict resolution skills? Oh, very few. I mean, what population are we talking about? Let's just say the West. No, I think everyone's a coward. I think everyone's Scandinavian, Minnesotan, typical American. Like, just agree. Oh, yeah, just to get out of there. Dude, I saw it today. I was at the coffee shop, and there was 2 bums. That's maybe a little harsh. 2 people without homes. They could have been transients. Maybe their transients would have been more descriptive. And they stank. And it was an all-female staff. And people are like looking like, are you going to kick these people out? They didn't have any coffee or any produce or product. They're sleeping. It was weird they weren't together. I was like, why are these people together? What? One left without the other. I was like, that's odd. Anything to avoid conflict. Anything. And most people are pussies and most people won't stand for them. Anything to avoid a conflict. Absolutely. So how many have conflict resolution skills? Very little. I had to do that work in security because you're not a cop. You can't arrest people. Armed security is kind of the worst because it's like, well, you're armed only if I'm in threatened and by the law of the state I'm in that I could use deadly force. Am I allowed to protect anyone? So I don't know why anyone has armed security in the United States, but you do. So you had to absolutely resolve things. And I'm a smaller guy. I couldn't fight my way out of stuff. If you're, I don't know, someone's getting kicked out of a bar or something like that, you're like, hey, when do you want to go home to your wife and kids? Oh, you don't got a wife and kids. When you want to go home, shut the hell up and get out of here. 11111. Boy, no one wants. Okay, one person wants to hear the standard thing. Brian XYLO, is it possible to call in Aaron Clarey? No, because I would have to go back to another thing and I don't know who you are. I mean, I appreciate the money. Don't get me wrong, but you don't have to look. $20 is way too much for that. I don't know if you know. Let's just save you some money going down the road. $20 you could get a page to write about. But if you're just going to write a simple question like that, I think a $2 super chat is all you need. I mean, unless you had something really interesting like, oh, I got some boots on the ground. The ones have it. Is there Mexican poops in this? When is there not Mexican poops in the Atham story? Guarantee he's the one that clogged up my toilet. Guarantee you it's him. He's acting awfully sheepish around it when we start talking poop in the toilet talk. Almost the whatever do you mean? Sam Whiskey, $5. They say Cappy's laptop is older than most Americans. It is. It is. My laptop is 11 years old. What did people make it to? 3, 4 months? Nonstop Dre, $5. The irony that people are worried about AI and ChatGPT. I don't even know what it is. I'm not going to look it up. Not looking it up. Don't everyone start talking about it. I'm not looking it up now. Manipulating humans, human lacking emotions, but most people are over emotional NPCs. Like, you go to the public schools. You also have a huge marketing machine, which I'm aware exists, telling you to buy things. You're told to be a leftist and a Democrat. You're told to buy things. You're told to go into debt. You're told the most important thing about more modernly, not in the past, it was like, do you have the fancy trinkets and the stuff? Materialism. That was the operating system. Now it's materialism plus what traits were you born with? And oh my God, that's the most important thing. Guys, sit down, think of this statement, how dumb this is, and realize that especially the younger you are, the higher the percent, if not the outright majority of people believe this is the truth. The most important and amazing thing about me is that I'm white. Like I didn't do anything to get this way. It hasn't done anything. It's like the most amazing thing about me is this Snoopy watch that I bought and put on my arm today. The most amazing thing about me is my brown eyes. That's how dumb they got these people. And that's without AI. That's just tapping into human like nature of hubris and arrogance. Like, oh my God, you're so amazing because of the way you were born. It's the most important thing about you. And anyone in the classes, the races, the genders, and everything, think about how insulting that is. The most important thing about you is your gender or your plumbing downstairs. Forget whether you're smart, you got these copies, you got these thoughts, you did an amazing thing, you're an artist, you're a programmer, you're a doctor, nope. It's that you're Hispanic. That's it, man. That's the most important thing. You're Hispanic. That's what you should have your entire value system put on that. Oh. And that was before artificial intelligence in its embryonic form here of ChatGPT. And so now you got all these, oh my God, I'm so amazing because I'm female. Does the fact have to, like, there's literally billions of you. Like, literally billions. Does that factor into your thoughts on your value at all? I'm left-handed. Oh my God, he's brave and amazing. I wipe with my left hand, not my... Oh, the left hand wipers. Brave, amazing. At least AI... most people are over-rational NPCs. At least AI is useful. Yeah, this is programmed wrong. Robot dogs. Look out. They're coming. I'm just happy. Those two women are not happy. Guarantee you they're not happy. The writers at She-Hulk, not happy. The writers at Rings of the Power, not happy. Tom Cruise, after what? Didn't Maverick clear $1 billion? Don't you think he's kind of happy? Oh, well, hello, Real Femme Sapien. How are you? $20. What's with the $20 super stickers? Thank you, dear. Tell me what you sent. You DM me. You know the thing. Yeah, guys, don't do $20 super stickers. Save that money for a comment, or you can write a paragraph with that much money. Dave, $5. I wear a jersey with another guy's name on it. Does he care about me? He does, and he's more than happy to bang your wife. And he'll do it in front of you so you could jerk off to it. Oh, man, the conversation these guys were having at that. Oh, my God. And these are full grown. These are guys my age, and they're loud, completely lacking situational awareness. And I was just like, me and the kid, I'm like, shink, shink. I'll finish his drink. Thank you very much. Oh, you have no taste in scotch, do you? Oh, that's right. You're a dude, bro, with your business degree. Dave, if you wear that jersey, you'll be really cool at the bar. The other guys were like, dude, nice jersey, bro. Why are you alive? Why are any of you alive? We got tickets to the game. We're going to the game. What row? 15th deck, upper deck, row 3,227, triple F. You guys remember the video? Speaking of Minnesota Vikings, remember the video where the guy's filming the field goals to see whether or not the Vikings would get into the Super Bowl? And they think he makes it, but he's so far away he couldn't tell, and the guy didn't make the field goal. And this wasn't no 50-yard attempt. This was like 20 yards. That's right. Oh, this stupid people. Phil Courtless, $5. Aaron, what's your opinion on Rich Cooper telling every man that they should be a millionaire by age 40? Sounds a bit ridiculous to me. That is possible. They should be. Now, also keep in mind, he's talking Canadian dollars, so that is $750-ish American. So you do have to account for that. That is about right. Especially with housing prices. It might be a little bit on the high side. Now, I would argue that, okay, your average guy, without making the mistake of going for a worthless college degree, yeah, that's totally attainable in today's world, adjusted for inflation. So, like if we said $22 Canadian, I don't know what the exchange rate is, like 3,001. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's about right. You could do that if you didn't screw up. So you have if you just stop chasing girls pointlessly. I'm not saying don't if you chase them strategically and correctly, and you invest in yourself. Yeah, you should be you should have $1 million net worth by the time you're 40. But the other contingent he is not considering is the minimalist, which obviously him and I have slightly different philosophical agreements on, because he's into luxury cars. Now he has the money to pay cash for those. He likes the finer things in life. Obviously, I'm more of an experienced guy. I prefer to go hiking than have a fancy car. And I think I even put it in Poor Rich's retirement. I think it's a couple of years ago. 350,000. Let's call it what it is. 425 today for a retirement amount on a minimal amount. So we're in the same ballpark. So minimalists could get by age 40. You could, you're not retired then, but yeah, 250,000, 300,000. Yeah. But if you worked and you weren't a minimalist and you want some of the finer things, or maybe you just worked a lot and this kid I know, he's 27, he's got 200,000, and that doesn't say anything about his pension and retirement planning. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. You don't need it, but it's possible. Christoph and on $5. Freak out your dad. Join the Eastern Orthodox Church. Kiri Ellison. And yes, I donated to both you and them. Well, who's Kiri Ellison? I'm glad you're with the Eastern Orthodox Church. About the only real legit church left. My dad's upset I just left Christianity altogether. But as a good Christian would be. Michael Morgan, $5. The best thing about Top Gun Maverick when Tom Cruise personally thanks the audience and hopes they enjoy the film. Yeah. My hat off. My hat is all wrong. It may be boring, but not effing your audience in their asshole and thanking them. Just please, thank you. Not talking loud at a bar while you have a homoerotic fantasy about the Minnesota Vikings banging your wife. Worse, they're talking about college because they went to college. And I think Georgia won something. Went there. I went there. Go back there. Drew, $2. I became free when I realized I am not special. Yep. We are not special. And then you become, J-O-D. Oh, what is this? That is a new currency. 5. So you're on metric. 5,000. Because the apostrophe, it'd be 5 in the West. No, Germany does the same thing. J-O-D. Farouk, J-O-D. What country are you in? J. Jordan? I'm going to go Jordan. Hang on, let's look it up. JOD to USD. Jordanian dinar. Yes, yes, yes. And then the girl's like, oh my God, Big Daddy, see, you can identify like the 3-letter hyphenated name of the currencies. I'm like, yeah, I sure can, my hot baby sugar mama. 1.14 United. Oh, that's a fair amount of money. So it's hang on. 1.41 times 5. I'm assuming that's 5, right? That's 5. $7.05 US. Well, thank you very much, Farouk. Let me go back to the thing. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm excited as an economist when I can guess the currency. It's got the book of numbers a few days ago. Can't wait to read it. Stay safe out there, Cappy. Thanks for. Is it that bad in Jordan? Are you Jordanian? You just happen to be in the West. I seriously want to know because Coach Kareem, he's in Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. He's not Syria. Yeah, he's Jordan. I'm curious, like, to see feminism go across into the Muslim community and Muslim world. God, I hope the numbers aren't as bad in Jordan as in the U.S. Oh man, that'd be horrible. Anthony Ciartino, one of our regulars, can't mention what he does, but he does. He's a real man. Pretending to care about sports ball and social settings is exhausting. Constantly asking questions that I have zero interest in the answer. Well, why are you in those situations? I've never no sports ball. Sam Whiskey, $2. Mongolian horse breeding beats sports ball. Yeah, it does if you're doing the breeding. Not if you're like, horses are my hobbies and I have other people pay so I can ride big dumb animals. But like if you're breeding Mongolian horses. John Watson, $5. If I financially plan for it, could I rent some rims for just a week? Laughing out loud. Love the minimalism course. Already making tons of changes. Oh, good. Thanks, John. I'm glad that helped out. Yeah, I forgot about that. That is an example of just truly reckless stupidity. You can rent rims. I think it's in Atlanta. It's one of the places you can rent rims because you can't afford hubcaps, I guess. Yeah, a lot of you guys around. Brian's exo Catholic for life. Good. Brian, you don't have to donate $20. Like that is a $2. You could type that out for $2. Unless you got gobs of money, you just want to get rid of it, which I'm okay with. But if you want to talk to other people on different, other podcast people, you give them $2, they're happy. Scrolling. Keep those behind. Coming towards the end. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $2. See, look how much you could write for $2. Cappy, the new MLK statue in Boston ended racism. I saw a couple pictures. I didn't get the bird's eye view of what it is. It looks absolutely atrocious. And anyone who would care about the role that Martin Luther King played in helping battle racism should be appalled. I'm not a big fan of MLK, not because of what he advocated, generally speaking, yes. But the guy was a communist. The guy, not parroted, what's the word? Plagiarized, I think, his thesis. Well, wasn't the greatest guy? I know him. No one's a sinner. I'm a sinner too. I get it. But like, now we need more of other people's money. Shut up. The other guy, Denzel Washington portrayed him. Why can't I remember his name? Like, we should have our own communities and do our own thing and run our own businesses. Yeah, that'd be good. Malcolm X, thank you. Malcolm X. Brian's off. $5. There you go. I was amazed of how many of the Indian population that believe the Korean live in Fresno, California, and Stockton. Huh? You're amazed East Indian or American Indian population that believe in the Korean. I was amazed how many of the Indian population that believe in the Quran live in Fresno, California, and Stockton. Is that what you meant? Did you do voice to text? That's what happens when you do voice to text. Wholesome DJ Aftershock, $5. Clary, bro, the Gophers are totally going to win this year, bro. You better throw up the CMs for the Carlson School of Management. When it happens, go Gophers, bro. I don't think the Gophers won a damn thing ever. Literally, the last time was the 70s or 60s. And then hairy armpits started to form. Scrolling. That's it. There we are. All right. What the heck did I link to? Quran. Yeah, that's yeah, I think so. Quran. Yeah, that's what I figured. Why don't we just say Muslim Indians? That would have made. I would have. Oh, okay. What the heck was it? Oh, achieving financial excellence. That's the only thing I linked to down below because it's philosophical. It really has nothing to do with it. But if you want your finances together, link below is what I did, what I put together to be your very first step in financial planning. So consider taking that course. It's always open. That's about it. Otherwise, more on the way. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.